Yeah, you read the thumbnail right. No elemental stance timer. No fire starter timer. No thunderhead timer. Paradox doesn't give a stack anymore. Ley lines is reduced to 20 seconds. Pretty much everything is half cast now. And a number of potency changes that we managed to get a sneak peek at. But then again, Yoshi P's real main is Ninja. He just plays Black Mage for live letters. It's a blessing and a curse. The Opa Opo's paw curls, if you will. Sorry if I sound off today. I just woke up and stayed up until 6 a.m. rendering even more footage of the Black Mage guide I've been working hard on for months. Only to get a glimpse of the live letter and see that almost everything I did is already outdated and I have to redo half of my script. I'm honestly just baffled. I said around Dawn Trail's launch I was expecting a sort of rework to Black Mage with 8.0. It wouldn't surprise me if it happened. What I am surprised about is it coming this early. I know they said they'd start changing things up for 7.2 onwards, but this is a lot. Like, I couldn't really think of anything Black Mage needed after 7.1. Sure, Flare Star could be stronger. An idea of it using earlier with different potencies based on your Astral Soul stacks could be cool. High Thunder could use some work. I wanted something where you can reapply it to extend it to a minute, like Death's Design. But changes like these are pretty massive when you think more about them, quality of life aside, depending on your definition of quality of life. Black Mage's identity at its deepest core is about fire for damage, ice for MP, and that hasn't changed. But a layer above that is what it's been about since Heavensward, maintaining that timer. Using your spells and abilities, juggling your burst windows to better plan out how best to throw out your Fire 4s and get them out as much as possible. How dropping your stance as a result of not having good uptime would punish you. But now that layer's gone, and that's a layer I've been used to for over 9 years now. Putting aside my deteriorating insanity and how I have to redo months of writing and research, I'm optimistic. Though if you're familiar with me, you know I'm like that. I've been a Black Mage defender all these years, as cringy as I might have come off, and I ain't stopping. And I've been a Dawn Trail defender. Yeah, the patch cycle is way too fucking long now, and 7.1's MSQ was actually bad. And the drip-fed content really needs to reel back a bit. Why are we getting Cosmic first? Why are we getting Field Exploration 2 months later? I mean, I know Eureka came out in 4.25 too, but come on. We're only getting 2 areas? And it's not coming out until the 0.5 patch. But I feel that this will end up being fun anyway in the end. It's going to be interesting to try and relearn new techniques, if there are any, and see how it changes during the leveling process. Yeah, I know no one gives a fuck about how stuff plays before the latest updates, but I do. That's been my weekly thing for the past year and a half, doing every raid in the game. I like to enjoy the whole game I'm paying for. But on that note, even Flare's reduced cast time in 7.1 made it a pre-level 60 Despair that's stronger than Fire 1, not just a gain on 2 from Fire 4 when casted. So yeah, the leveling process does end up changing. You'd be surprised how many sprouts are out there doing coils at min-eye level and how easy it is to find other sprouts in Party Finder eager to do them. So this information is still pretty handy. What, you want to spend more time in MSQ Roulette? Hey, it's your sub. Another part of its identity was Black Mage's longer casts, using your triple cast and swift cast for not just movement, but as a damage boosting tool since Fire 4 and Flare Star casts were longer than the recast, therefore more potency per second. Yeah, that's not there anymore. Now with Fire 4, Blizzard 4, Flare Star, I'm just gonna assume everything is half cast now. Everything else is instant now anyway. Triple cast and swift cast are essentially pure movement tools now, and that's not needed so much either. With a 1.75 second base cast time, slide casting is even easier. Hell, you'll probably end up doing it without even realizing it now. And thanks to Exu having a better eye than me, sorry, couldn't see much being sleep deprived than on my phone, we got a glimpse of some potency changes that also will be changing up things. We're gonna ignore Enochian because it's probably gonna get changed again anyway. Fire 3, and assuming Blizzard 3, gets buffed to 290 potency. This makes Fire 3 under AF3 be 522 true potency, or 406 in AF1. Blizzard 4, and assuming Fire 4, gets nerfed to 300 potency. This means Fire 4 would have a 540 true potency in AF3. The reduced casting gives it a PPS buff, actually. Xenoglossy got buffed to 890. Foul is still 600, but its damage drop-off got taken down to 25%, making it the third spell to be a gain on 2. And Flare Star got a buff to 500, with adding in AF3 makes it 900 true potency, making it stronger than even the buffed Xenoglossy and our new strongest spell. From looking at the footage, Paradox doesn't grant an elemental stack anymore, probably due to the stance timer removal, but it removes letting it increase the stance strength now. They probably will end up buffing it because it being less potency than the new AF3 Fire 3 would be weird. From what I can see, it'll be an overall buff to Black Mage DPS, but it drastically changes the how and why of what we do. Though there's no sign of High Fire and High Blizzard 2 being good again, so take that as you will. Seeing that there's no timer makes me wonder if Fire 1 will even see any use between 60 to 89, because why wouldn't you just cast a 7th Fire 4? Oh shit, I'm going into T with this. I'm gonna just interject really quick. I actually did some math while I was at work. Between 60 to 59, even Fire 1 is kind of dead. You really do cast a 7th Fire 4. As it currently stands, even with the buffed Fire 3, a 7th Fire 4 with the 300 potency deals 540 true potency. That paired with a cold Fire 3 ends up, like, them together make 743 potency. But a Fire 1 plus an AF1 F3P comes out to only 730 potency. So even if you were lucky with a Firestarter proc, that's less overall damage than just casting a 7th Fire 4. So yeah, no, Fire 1 is now pointless at 60 to 89. You're not going to press it again until Paradox. This is... Oh my god. I will say that it's been annoying, to say the least, in how our gameplay has been changing to these degrees with every patch so far. Big amount of changes going into 7.0. We got our Ice Paradox back in 7.05 and a better Umbral Soul. Flare ended up gaining in PPS, while Despair became instant in 7.1, and now we got a surprise semi-rework in the middle of an expansion. I'm just surprised. From my first big video, I said, I'll admit there's still a bit more to work on. Much of it comes down to outdated design, and even I'm expecting it to be next in line of the rework assembly line a la Summoner. And that's okay. Yeah, I said I wouldn't be surprised that the big scary homogenization hammer was coming. I'm just surprised it's here now. Or I guess late, depending on your perspective. I'm mainly just upset that all the time I spent researching, guide writing, and math will have to be redone to such an incredible degree, but that's my personal problem. I'm sure I'm going to have fun with the changes. I don't like being a doomer, so if this was the kind of video you were expecting, well, it isn't. Deep down, I'm very interested in what the changes will bring about and how this will feel down the line. I kind of want to bring it into UCOB and Uwu again. Though the longer casts and turret playstyle was a huge part of Black Mage that I did actually enjoy very much. This is a job where even the smallest change ends up being pretty divisive due to how subjective it is. To some, it's fun, engaging, and a good challenge. To others, it's pure agonizing torture that has the risk of giving you a brain tumor if you even think about it. And maybe that was the mindset going into this. It was a job that didn't seem easy to pick up to a lot of players, so they wanted to tackle that. Sure, veterans could say that it's the easiest it's been to perform now, but not everyone is a veteran. It makes it more in line with how they've been designing jobs now, and Black Mage has been the one that was still holding on to a Realm Reborn jank, for lack of a better term. Maybe I'm tightening on the tinfoil hat too hard here, but I wonder if they saw the instant cast rotations going around and thought, well, guess Black Mages don't want a long cast anymore. Maybe that's what happened with the MP changes and the no Blizzard 4 rotation from last expansion. That's all probably reaching too hard. There's a lot of people who are going to be upset about the direction the job is going, but I guess I kind of took the hard-to-swallow pill early to prepare myself. And that's why I'm mostly chill and excited. I like new things. Just wish I had prepared myself even earlier. That's about all I gotta say for now. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments. Are you gonna pick up the job now? Is this your final straw and you're gonna drop it? Or are you more optimistic like me and are interested to see how it changes and will have fun anyway? Don't forget to like and subscribe too so you can catch our min-eye level clears or whatever other videos I'll end up making. Or come over to Twitch where I stream our prog and other games regularly and we can discuss there. I'm also going to just upload what I made so far with the guide as is. I suppose to look back on and see how Black Mage leveling was like. I mean, I did put in months of work for an hour of video and I was only halfway done. The guide, video-wise, covered everything from level 1 to 60, so hope you guys can at least enjoy it for its entertainment value. When the patch drops, I'm going to spend the entire week on Twitch testing out the rework and playing around with it, as well as updating the spell spreadsheet, doing some math and all that jazz. I'm curious to see what the difference would be like between a crit build and a speed build now. Is spell speed still a viable stat with Black Mage still being super GCD focused? Or do these half casts just make it so that you may as well just go full crit instead? We'll have to see and test for ourselves. It's what I just love doing. Guess that final guide is gonna take a little longer. I'm gonna fucking kill